What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel again. I'm Kyle, Limitless Power Sports Service and Repair. I'm not in front of the camera today. I got to use my phone right now because we're actually putting up my building, so I got my GoPro going on that. I haven't tried to record anything off my phone. I'm holding it in my hand. But what I have here, I have a Christmas gift. Hopefully I can get it done by Christmas. It's Halloween, my first day touching this thing. Should be able to if parts come right. It's a 2003 Honda TRX 90 from my girls. So it doesn't have compression. It has some compression. It's not locked up. The previous owner put a new pull rope on it. I just degreased it all just a little bit ago, cleaned up the plastics. They're going to need to be cleaned really well and all that also. So, but it's got really low compression. It does have spark. So I'm going to go ahead and check to see if the valves are out of adjustment. I'm going to do that off camera. Like I said, since my GoPro is actually filming the building being built right now outside. So hopefully I'll have that video up here in a few days of that. But I'm going to go ahead and check the intake and exhaust valves on here. Like I said, it is a 2003 TRX. And the intake and exhaust clearances on this, what was it? Intake, valve lash intake, 0.005 cold, and same as the exhaust, 0.05 millimeters. 0.05 millimeters, if we can focus there. All the information you need here, but it's 0.05 millimeters intake and exhaust. So I'm going to go ahead and check those and see if that might be our compression problem. All right, guys, so where we're at on this right now, I adjusted the valves and did a compression check. It has 170 pounds of compression now. The intake valve was so tight it was holding it open. The exhaust was just about perfect. Fixed that, and it has compression. So I took the carburetor apart. I cleaned that. Again, I didn't have my GoPro because I had it recording my shop build, which I just finished up today, a matter of fact, and cleaned the carburetor out, let it soak, got that all done. Pulled the cord, fires right up. Thing idles amazing. I'm so happy with it for the price I paid for this thing. So next thing we're going to go ahead and get into, I'm going to order chain and sprockets, tires, brake cables, and then right now I'm also in the process of sanding the plastics down. They're all, if you guys see that, I'll show you what I got going on here. I'll walk outside because won't be in that dungeon much longer because the shop is complete. But anyways, if you guys look, you might be able to, you can see where the old the factory sticker used to be, and that's what the plastics look like. So what I've been doing today, while I was waiting on the GoPro to get finished up, I'm actually sanding down all the plastics. You can see how much nicer that looks, compared to what's not been sanded down all the way yet. And then what I'll do, I'll go back and I'll take a torch and I'll run over that to restore the shine to it. So that's where I'm at on that right now. So we're gonna go ahead and order parts, get those things coming, and when those get here, I'm gonna work on the plastics in the meantime, off camera. No point, nobody wants me to watch me do that all the time in the world here. And when the parts come in, change the tires, put the new brake lines on, rebuild the carburetor, and hopefully got the plastics fixed up. I got to weld the bracket on the other side because they don't make this anymore. I did find it on eBay, but I don't feel like paying 30 bucks for it. So I'll weld that up, and got to make a few small things for the front plastics that have broken off here. You see that? Probably make a little L bracket, and then bolt it to this and rivet to the plastics. So as soon as that stuff comes in, guys, we'll jump on this. Again, this is a Christmas present for my girls. They know it's here, but they think it's for a customer. So they'll be excited when they get it. All right, guys, so I've been working on the plastics a little bit. You can see, I kind of got a shadow behind me here for my light, but you can see where the OEM sticker was, and this is how faded they are compared. So I just went through and redid this one. I used, I forget what, 2 grits, 600 orbital sander at the end, honestly, is what I used, and I think 220 to start with on an orbital sander, and I just sanded the whole thing down. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely way better than this color. That turned out really nice. So what I did after I sanded it down, pretty good. I wasn't gonna spend a whole bunch of time on it. Again, this is just a kid's 4-wheeler for them to have a good time on, but sanded it down, and then I took my torch after I got everything cleaned up, cleaned it off, the brake cleaned really good, took my torch and just ran heat over it to bring that shine back. I can still clear coat it. or I can put some of that SC1 high gloss on there. But that's where we're at on this one. I'm gonna start working on this one, and then I have the rear fenders. As far as the black parts go, what I did, I cleaned them up by hand, just cleaned them with some spray clean, ran the torch over, bring that shine back, and then I put some SC1 high gloss stuff on it. Try to find this front cowling piece. You guys can see all the scratches in that thing, but from a distance, it actually turned out nice and black again, so that's good to see there. So, like I said before, we have parts coming for this. Next step is to do the left fender and then the rear. All right, we're gonna jump up here and go ahead and break these loose with it's a 12mm nut. Pop those guys loose real quick. Like I said, I already have this adjusted all the way down. Pop these loose on both sides. I ordered most of my parts through Partzilla this time. Some of the brake lines and stuff weren't available. Sometimes you can find OEM parts on Amazon, they just weren't available through there. So I ordered the front and rear brake line and the timing hole cover through not Parts Unlimited, but Partzilla. And then I got the sprockets and the chain. I went cheap on that, Amazon, and then I did get an all balls rebuild kit here for it. Go on their website, pull their number up, and I go to Amazon, and you actually get it cheaper on Amazon than you do actually order it from their site. So you can see we got both of these off here. Go ahead and chase it down. Try, because these are kind of locked up, I may not be able to get them out of there. I may have to actually cut those because these brake lines are just so froze up. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to cut those brake lines because they're just so frozen. Grab a nice pair of dikes here. Just cut that guy right in half. Done deal. Everything is just so corroded and frozen on this poor guy. This thing lived a life outside. So I just cut the line real quick down here. Get you guys a little bit better view. Just cut it down there, and we're gonna go ahead and work on getting her out of here now. That's a tough thing. Still got some junk on it. And we'll just repeat the process on the other side too. Boy, she just not wanting to pull through. She is rusty and nasty and everything. All right, so we got that one out. Just took a little bit of work. It's all rusted in there. We got the new one here. Part number for that right there. Both brake lines are the same. Oh, look at that. That one actually works. How nice. All right. Just loop it up through like this. Push this little guy back up on here. I'll go ahead and hook it up down on my brakes. And we're just gonna go ahead and run it at the back side like the other one was. Go down, and now we'll just slide it in this little bad boy here. Put that one back down on top like so. Turn it around this way. Put that one, if I can get it to go here, in like that. And I'll leave a lot of play in there so we can go ahead and put the next one in. So we'll just go ahead and repeat the process on this side real quick, and then we'll go ahead and do the adjustment here. All right, so we got the brake lines installed like before. I believe there's still an issue with the front brakes, so I ordered new front brakes. I was putting a chain sprocket on and I came across a lot of stuff that's going on since I started recording last. The rear bearings were out, so I knocked both of those out. The chain itself is supposed to be a 428, but it's actually a 420. They sent me the wrong one, so I had to send that back. I got another one coming. I ordered rear brakes also. Got the drum all apart. I figured since I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and change the brakes because this actually, the handbrake doesn't work right. So I'm sure it's probably the brake pads are worn down. They don't look horrible, but we're here, so we're gonna throw new ones in that. We're getting ready to rebuild the carburetor now, but I just did rear tires. I put bead sealer on them, but you can see right now, this one again, I had to figure out where it's leaking from. It went flat. This one down here is holding air, so I'll have to throw air back in that. And I went and put bead sealer all the way around. So we'll check that out again here shortly, see what's going on with that. So the next thing I'm gonna do, we're gonna jump over here and we're gonna go ahead and rebuild this carburetor again. It's an all balls kit. It's 26-1208 for this 93. So we'll go ahead and jump into that. All right, so we got some light shining on this thing. Hopefully it's not too bad. Like I said, I don't have a lot of light in the shop right now. So we'll go ahead and take out these two. I've already cleaned this out, so I know everything is pretty clean. The fuel needle is what the issue is. The fuel needle just leaks a little bit. So we're just gonna go ahead and just change all the jets in here, switch it all out since we got new ones. The pilot jet, the main jet, the fuel needle, all the O-rings, all that good stuff. Since we're here, this one does not leak. It just carburetor overflows. So we know the fuel needle's not shutting off. The float doesn't have any fuel in it. I've already, like I said, I've cleaned this once before. I was, before I even started filming on this thing, just to make sure it was worth my time. So let's go on and take all that apart. Pop this bad boy open here. We're gonna leave the same needle in it. We're just basically gonna take our pilot jet and our fuel needle. And then I'm gonna I'll leave the old float bowl gaskets. I know the other two gaskets are good for the O-rings that go in here. Since I'm keeping it for my kids, I'll just keep this stuff on the shelf in case I run into any type of issues. And we just want the pilot jet, or the main jet out of here now, if I can get to it. There we go. And we'll go ahead and throw the old ones in here. Like I said, I know the issue is just a fuel needle, but heck, I just figured I have a rebuild kit on hand just in case. The bottom is all, I mean, it's clean, but it's just pitted from setting for so long. So this is pretty much a whole entire rebuild kit again, except for the fuel needle. That fuel needle's bad. So we'll go ahead and replace that with a new one. Throw that bad boy right in here. I should have ate some lunch today, man. I'm shaking, hungry. Go ahead and put the main jet back in. Yeah, this main jet is I believe it says an 80. Let's compare it to the other main jet. Just in case, I usually do that, and I just didn't think about it this time. Yep, 80. Pilot jet, a 40. I know that one's a 40 that I took out. I already checked that initially before when I first cleaned the carburetor. So we'll go ahead and throw pilot jet in there. See there's the old jet there. And we'll go ahead and just stick this bad boy back together. Like I said, I know the float bowl gasket's good, so no point in replacing that since I'm actually keeping this unit. If I was selling this, I would completely rebuild the carburetors, O-rings, the whole 9 yards. But since this one's staying around the house for the kids, I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I'll have this on the shelf just in case something does happen in the future. And then we can go in there and take care of business, which most of the time it's gonna end up being a fuel needle for the most part. That's almost a guarantee. Oh, today. It's a very simple carburetor. You know, choke, not choke. That's your idle screw. That's your air screw. I think it's out a turn and a half, maybe two. I had to adjust it when I had the bike running. So let's see, half, one. Yeah, it's out one full turn from all the way hard. I shouldn't say all the way hard, I should say all the way in. So that's really simple, guys. We'll just go ahead and install this back on there. We got a good O-ring here yet too. We'll just go ahead and install this back on the quad and we'll move on to the next thing. All right, guys, so I got the carburetor back on here, fuel tank on. We're gonna go ahead and, ow, hit my knuckle. Throw some gas in it to see if it leaks. It shouldn't, but we'll turn it on off. I'll go ahead and put the pull rope back on real quick and we'll try to fire this thing off. All right, so let's turn it on. So far, so good there. We'll throw the pull rope back on real quick while we're letting the gas sit there and settle for a minute to see if we get any overflow, but I'm pretty sure with that new needle, we should be okay. All right, so throw this guy up here. Make that one nice and tight. There we go. I gotta get another bolt for down here. So we're good there. Let's throw it up on choke. Ignition. Where you at? There it is. Hanging around over here still. Throw that there. Make sure we're on run. We're on run. Heck yeah. Take it off the choke. This little thing purrs, baby. Sounds pretty good. So like I said before, all I had to do was adjust the valve to get the same compression back. You guys can hear it idles nice. We just changed that fuel needle in the carburetor, added some fuel. We got to replace the rear bearings in this thing yet. We're just kind of going over stuff again. When we replace the brakes, probably the front ball joints on this one because it's all nice and loose. Crap, front brakes, front tires. The rear tire, again, I aired it up, I was checking for leaks. It didn't show a leak, so it's got to be kind of a slow leak, but it's flat again, so I got to figure out where around the rim that's going from. So those will be the next steps we get. As soon as I just ordered the parts for the rear, so hopefully that'll come in here in the next couple of days, and we'll jump back on this thing, and I'll finish sanding the plastics here, and I can have this ready for my girls before Christmas. They're kind of outside playing. I don't want them to hear that. All right, guys, so we're back on the 2003 Honda TRX 90 that I had got for my kids for Christmas. It's not quite December yet, but getting close. I've done a lot of stuff off camera. You could probably see that here. I've been traveling between here and Idaho building jet boats for RS Racecraft, so I've been busy with that. So I've been doing some stuff off camera when I get a chance. Kind of hard to record. But so far, what I have done off camera, I have put new front, rear tires on this thing. I do have a slow leak over here. I can't figure out where it's coming from yet. I sprayed it down. I got bead sealer on here. Checked the valve stem. Still trying to figure that one out. It's not showing me. Got new front brake pads. Got a new heim joint down here. Chain and sprockets have been put on front and rear. New rear brake pads. I have a new rear brake cable here. Also has a new ignition that was installed by the previous owner. I took the seat cover off, that crappy one they had, and this thing is in really good shape. Just underneath this here, there was a little bit of a couple small holes, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. I've rebuilt the carburetor. We've adjusted the valves. Let's see, what else have we done? Oh, we put 2 new brake cables here. We lubed the front brake cable up here. Of course, somebody had added a light to it, which I'm not worried about that. It does fire up and run, so let's go ahead and turn the gas on here. We'll choke it for a second, turn the key. Let's see, there's one. Make sure we're on that. There we go. But she fires and runs really, really well. I rode it, all the gears work in it, the brakes work, everything works good. So what we're working on now, I showed you guys beforehand, we're working on all the plastics. You can see it looks really, really nice now. That one's been done, but I'm walking backwards here. I started on this one. It's still, you can see I got most of that horrible looking stuff off of there. I still need to go over this really good. But you guys could definitely see the difference between probably this guy and that guy, the shininess there. Really oxidized plastics. And all I'm doing, I'm using an orbital sander there. And what I'm doing with that is just running some 220 and then 600. I could go less, but a little bit easier. But once I get that 220 done and get all this horrible looking oxidation off and get these scratches out, I'm just hitting it with some 800 and then just running my torch over the top of that, bringing that nice shine back like this one. It doesn't have to be perfect for my kids, you know, but it is, you know, a Christmas gift or inside actually. So that's where we're at on this one. I think we got this one saved. So we're gonna go ahead and finish these plastics up in the next few days, throw it on here, go for a ride, let you guys check it out. Again, sorry about the stuff not being done on camera. Oh yeah, I also forgot, I did put new rear axle bearings in there. Those are bad, so I put new rear axle bearings in. Also, lubed all it up really good. But it's a nice little machine. Bought it for 250 bucks. The motor said it didn't have compression. We adjusted the valves and it had 170 pounds. You can hear it fire up and run just fine. And you can hear, you can see chokes off. We'll rev it up a little bit here. But she revs up really, really well. My kids should be pumped up at Christmas time. Like I said, it's a 2003. So I'll do some more plastics and I'll show you guys the end product. All right, guys, so I got the front plastic sanded down pretty good. Sanded them down, like I said, I think I started with, yeah, it was a 220 and then I finished up with a 600. I need to definitely fix these cracks in here. I'm probably gonna get a piece of metal and just run some rivets through that. But they turned out pretty good. I got a little cockeyed on here, but it turned out pretty good. I actually had to put a push pin, drill a hole through there, so that holds in place. Let's walk over here to the rear fenders. So basically where I'm at on this thing, I'll try to get out of the light here a little bit, stand off to the side. I just did half of this. I wanted to do half to show you guys kind of what it started out looking like. You guys can see all the scratches and discoloration in that. So I did half of this with 220 again, like I said, started with 220, did the whole thing, and then came back with 600, and it turned out really, really nice. Again, I did run my torch over it at the end, throw some more light on this thing for you. So you guys can definitely see the difference between these two. If I can get that light off there a little bit from an angle, maybe further away, of what it started out like and what it ended with. So I started with 220 and then I went to a 600 on my little handheld, what is this, a Black & Decker orbital sander, 6-inch pads. And then I just take my torch at the end and go over it really nice, really hot, really quick to bring back that shine. So that's where we're at on this. We just got to finish up this other side. I just wanted to show you guys where I'm at on that. And then this little TRX 90 will be just about finished. I still got to figure out that back left rear tire. I can see it's leaking around the bead. I have put bead sealer on it, but it hasn't helped it. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the bead on that one more time, throw some more bead sealer on there, and hit it with a lot of pressure and see if we can get that thing to seal up. All right, guys, so we have finished up this 2003 Honda TRX 90 for my kids for Christmas. I got some chance to finish up the plastics and everything, go through it. Thing runs phenomenal. I know I didn't get a bunch of chances to record a lot of stuff, but I just wanted, it's just a little fun thing for me to do, to just kind of show it and wanted to see if I could get it done for my kids in time. It's actually December 1st today. But so basically, bought this for 250 bucks. It didn't have compression. I may have told the story already, but I'm gonna tell it again. Had no compression in it. Pretty ratty. There should be some before and after pictures in the video. The owner replaced the pull start on it and he had replaced the ignition on here, and he said it had no compression. He wanted 350, I offered him 2. He said 250, I said deal. Got it. Checked the valves, they were crazy tight. Did a compression check, 170 pounds of compression. So I'm like, perfect. This is perfect. 170 pounds of compression, cleaned the carburetor, thing fried right up. So what I ended up doing to it is I had to sand the plastics down, which took me quite a few days. Did an orbital sander, sanded those down with 220, then 600, and then hit it with a torch and shined them up really good. Took the seat cover off of it, found out it had a good seat underneath it, cleaned up the black plastics. Has new tires, new brakes, new tie rod end, new rear tires, new rear brakes, front brake cables, rear brake, foot brake, hand brake cable, chain sprockets, rear axle bearings, carburetor rebuild kit. I do need to pull that light off of there. I don't know why they put that on there. So thing fires up, runs great, get to surprise the kids for Christmas. So I'm pretty excited about that. So in future videos, guys, look for this 2002 Yamaha YZF R6. Had a major oil leak and the owner rode it and it quit running. So I'm afraid it's probably gonna have a blown motor. So we're gonna get into that, take that motor apart. And then we're gonna have, in the future, we'll have the KFX 700, the 94, 94 Blaster back there. I got this, I forget what year that DVX is, 300. We've got a transmission thing we're fixing. And then way back here in the corner, we got a 1995 YZ250. Gonna go through that, take care of all that. The other stuff is mine, and that one's a friend of mine's. So look forward to those videos, guys. Again, if you got any questions about motorcycles, ATVs or UTVs, you guys can hit me up here by dropping a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. It's free and it's the easy way to support the channels you like. Also, you can hit me up at limitlessports78@gmail. Find me on Facebook at Limitless Power Sports Service and Repair or my personal page. Again, guys, I appreciate all the support, and I'll catch you on the next upload. All right, girls, everybody get your slippers on. We got one more present.
One more present?
Yep, get your slippers on.
I totally forgot.
Get your slippers on.
No, she's not going to want to wear her slippers because she's going to get really mad if they get worn outside. Because
we're not going outside.
Okay.
Put your slippers on.
Just making sure.
Now get tippy brippy.
What about you? You gonna put your slippers on, lady?
I promised that I would not wear these outside. I pinky promise.
Yeah, we don't
there you go.
Outside.
I hate them.
I guess.
All right, slippers.
What's our last present?
All right, go down to Grandpa's. Go down to Grandpa's.
Come on. There's
Go
one more
downstairs.
present I forgot about.
Go downstairs. Come on.
What's the present?
Go and you'll
What's a
find out.
present?
Oh, that's bad.
It's from Grandpa too. Grandpa,
It's from everybody.
from all of us.
Come on, Pokey Butts.
Yeah, I almost forgot about the last present.
Okay,
They're going to find out what it is right now.
go to the garage.
Come on, to the garage.
The garage? No, I'm not wearing my slippers.
Just, it's clean. Go to the garage.
Okay, good. I know.
Turn
No,
the
it's
handle.
not clean. I'm not. What?
Go in there.
It's clean? What?
What are you looking at with a big bow on it?
A pullover?
What's that?
Surprise! That's for you guys.
That's for you.
It's a four-wheeler!
It's a four-wheeler for you guys.
Yeah.
Yay! It's a four-wheeler!
Go sit down.
Okay.
Blake is like, I'm cold.
It's cold in here, yeah.
Alright, let me sit in front of you so we can get a picture. Go ahead, Blakely.
Yeah, it's cold in the garage. Yep. This one actually works compared to the other one. Are you happy?
Yeah!
Blakely, what do you think? Are you happy?
She's got the wrong foot on there.
She always does that. Step
Honey, you
down.
gotta step with the other foot.
Put your other foot on it. There you go. Now step over.
Whoa!
It's okay. If she needs help, and we work on things. Hey, baby, mommy, pick you up. Ready?
I love it! Oh,
I'm
my.
glad you love it.
There we go.
All right. Smile.
Cheese!
Voila.
Wow, they're going quiet. 7 years old.
Alright.
So cool, huh? Congratulations. Too bad it's snow on the ground right now and you can't ride it because it's really cold.
That's okay.
You need help down?
Still like it.
Oh, Christmas morning, they got way too many presents, and they got this. Again, guys, if you got any questions about motorcycles, ATVs, or UTVs, drop a comment down below. Hit me up at limitlespodsport78@gmail. Find me on Facebook. I'll catch you guys on the next upload.